Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, what I want to show you guys how to do is how to book box truck loads for, for your 26-foot truck or maybe 24-foot truck using the DAT load board. So, as you guys know, I'm personally on my first month of business. I actually just finished my first month of business. And I just want to share with you guys how I booked my loads and give you like a step by step walkthrough on how you book a load and what the process is like, and how you deal with brokers over the phone. So I'm going to show you this using my favorite load board. I use the DAT Trucker's Edge load board. I use the very basic package. I believe it costs about $40 a month. I haven't tried using the other options yet, but if I do, I'll definitely let you guys know how that goes down. So this is what the main page will look like once you're signed in, of course. And the option you're going to want to select off of this board is going to be right here where it says search loads. So you're going to go ahead and click here to search loads. And it's going to give you a few different options you can do to modify your search. You could put the origin of where you'd like to start the load, the deadhead, which is like the miles you're going to travel before you pick up the load from your current location, or how much you're willing to travel. So that's customizable. It's up to you. The destination, you could leave this blank actually if you want it to be showing you routes to anywhere, or you can also select a specific city and state and then put the deadhead you're willing to do from that specific area. What I highly recommend is that you use these same settings I have right here. So on truck type, you could put van and SB, which stands for straight box. If you don't see the SB option, you can also select other. It'll automatically add the box truck loads on there for you. For the length, you'll want to put 26 feet, or if you have a 24-foot, you can put that as well. The typical max weight you can fit on one of these trucks is 10,000 pounds. I mean, you always want to make sure to weigh your truck empty though, because like let's just say if your truck weighs 17,000 pounds for some reason, then you can only carry a maximum weight of 9,000 pounds if you're a non CDL driver. For the loads, like if you want to do full or partial, you want to put both to just give you more options from what you want to select. You can select a start date and end date from where you want to check for pickups on the load. So let's just do an example. I'm here in Barstow. So let's enter Barstow's address. Let's just say I don't want to deadhead very much, so I don't want to pay too much in gas just to pick up a load. So maybe 150, and then what I'm gonna do is leave the destination blank actually, so it could show you all the routes that are leaving from where I'm at. So pretty much, I mean, me personally, I'm an over the road driver. I can go to all 48 states. So what I do is I start off my week by going anywhere, whatever pays the best amount of money. Typically, you want to shoot for at least $2 per mile, and you don't want to really go below like $1.80, maybe $1.60 if you're really in a pinch. But you want to typically try to stay in that sweet spot of $1.80 to $2 a mile, and yeah, that's what you want to stay at. Especially if you're doing a rental and you want to stay profitable, you're gonna have to stay at that range. So now we're gonna go to search here, and it's gonna load up all of the different loads. So right now, for me, I believe it's the 28th. It's a Thursday, and right now there's exactly 188 loads. There's 188 results and 64 exact loads that are in my area that I could pick up. So It's just a pretty useful board, as you can see. It shows me a load right here from Los Angeles to Denver, Colorado. It shows me the amount of miles, so 1,000 miles, and it shows that the broker is paying $1,200 for that load. It'll also show you a few other things, how long it's been on the board for, whether you can factor. So if you're using a factoring company and you want to get paid the same day through them, you can see that this factoring company OTR does do factoring for them. And again, it shows the mileage here. It shows the broker, who's Global Trans. I've actually tried to work with these guys a few times, but they do require 90 days active authority, so I can't even book loads of them yet. Their credits, it shows their rating, the credit score, the days they take to pay if you're not using a factoring company. So like if you're just gonna get paid without going through a quick pay factoring company, it'll take 21 days to receive your payments. And then it also gives you the weight of the load as well as the length and the commodity. So this is like 3U boxes. So they're probably like 5 feet each, and they'll probably 2,500 pounds each. And what it will show you here, so there some brokers will have 2 points of contact. You can contact them via email. So we see the email right here for this load, or they also have a phone number right here that you can contact them with. So, I mean, typically myself, I like to contact via phone just because it's a lot faster. But what you're going to find is a lot of brokers will want to communicate solely through email. Why they do that, I'm not too sure. I guess they're maybe a little bit more comfortable like that. But so it can go down one of two ways. So I'll give you the example of if you call them, right? So obviously you just dial this number. What most of these brokers have is a like an auto receptionist. So when you dial in, it'll have different options like press one to talk to dispatch, press two for accounting, press three if you want to become a customer, and so forth. Typically, you'll want to talk to dispatch, and you'll want to negotiate a reasonable price for the load, of course. So let's just go back to this load here, right? Um, it's 1,000 miles, and they're paying $1,200, so it's roughly $1.20 a mile. So this is actually a pretty low offer. Um, I would want to call the broker, and if I called the broker and I spoke to dispatch, um, I mean the first thing they're going to ask you, of course, is they're going to ask for your MC, so your motor carrier number, which you or your authority. You provide that number for them, and they'll let you know whether you can work with them or not. I mean, if your authority's new, they probably, I mean, they will or will not. You'll find out who will work with you. Um, and then what you want to do is negotiate that price, because $1,200, it's not going to pay the bills for $1,000 trip. So you want to shoot for at least like 1,800 on a load like this. So you'd want to call the broker up, and let's just say your target is to get $1,800 in the load. You might want to hit them with, hey, look, I'm trying to get $2,000 for this load. And so you hit them with the higher offer, so that they'll meet you up. They'll meet you back like, oh, okay, well, what if we could do like 1,600 for it? And then hit them back like, hey, look, 1,600 is a little bit low. Can you guys do 1,800? And I could pick up today. I have a driver in the area. And it's not always going to be so smooth. I mean, some brokers are going to be super cheap. Some are going to be like, heck yeah, let's do it. So and don't feel discouraged if you don't reach an agreement the first time. I mean, the first load. I mean, this is one load out of 188 loads I can book right now. So don't beat yourself up if you don't get that first one. As we can see, this next one here is a little bit better. It's it's a load from Upland, California to Boise, Idaho. The offer is 1,350, and the trip is 850 miles approximately. So I mean, it's a little bit more reasonable. This broker is offering more of like $1.60, $1.70 a mile. It shouldn't be too hard to talk them up a little bit more. I mean, typically when you see these amounts posted, you don't want to settle for that price. You always want to shoot for some more money. Obviously calculate your cost of business to know how much you have to make to stay profitable. I mean, this isn't a bad load, and if you notice too, it's also a partial. So I mean, it's like it's it's actually pretty reasonable now that I'm taking a second look at it, because the length is 15 feet on this load, and the weight is 5,100. I mean, the only thing that kind of sucks now, I mean, no box trucks. But let's just say if they did allow box trucks, this would be a pretty good load, because you can add another 11 feet of 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 freight onto your truck and another 4,900 pounds. So typically, what you could do is you can also pair two loads going in the same direction, or multiple loads going in the same direction, to also increase your profit per mile. Of course, like I was saying, you want to shoot for at least $2 per mile. So I mean, you can go a little bit lower than that, especially if you want to keep your truck moving. I mean, I would not go below $1.60. That's like a real low ball offer. And you can also see on here the date here of the pickup. So a lot of these are picking up. I mean, it says today, but it's already later on. It's already almost 10 o'clock where I'm at. So most likely these will pick up in the morning. Um, Another good strategy, if you're going to be using this board too, is to be mindful that most of these brokers, they're from the East Coast. So what this means is, like, for me, for example, I'm in California. So I have to get up at 6 in the morning, because uh, when I get up at 6 a.m. in California, it's already 9 a.m. over there in New York, or the East Coast side. And I have to get up a little bit earlier so I can make sure I get the hot loads. A lot of these brokers post their loads right when they get into the office. And typically, the loads that are posted up early in the morning tend to be the loads that pay the best. So, the early bird gets the worm. If you're trying to get that bread, wake up early, start looking at routes you compare, and get that truck moving. So, we talked about how it goes down if you're going to call a broker. As I was mentioning, you can also email the broker. They'll have their email on there. So, I'll show you an example in my email of what I like, how I email the brokers. So, let's see here. This is a broker that I send an email to. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's nothing. I don't have like a fancy technique. I'm sure you could put more effort. It's up to you. But I emailed this guy with Jacksonville Freight Solutions, and in the subject line, I just put the route. So the route was from Laredo, Texas, to I don't know if I can pronounce it, to Milpitas, California. And I told him, hey, good morning. I'm looking to book the above reference route. I have a driver empty in Laredo, Texas right now. So, and it's always good to let them know, hey, you got somebody empty who's ready right now, because that broker is going to want to lean toward you, like, oh, this guy's ready to go. And he actually had a pretty good rate for this route. So I didn't even have to give him no back and forth. And he tells me it picks up tomorrow, which is Friday for me, and it delivers Monday. Rate is firm, $3,000. So I told him, sounds great. We can do that. And then, of course, you're going to have to send your MC number, your authority. I sent him that over. And he gets back to me a little bit later. He said, can you do it? I told him, yeah, of course we can. I kind of put a little pressure on him, because I was talking to other brokers. And it's okay. I mean, these guys are going to put pressure on you, put pressure on them back to get you a rate confirmation. So the rate con, it's pretty much like when you get a Raycon, you have for sure booked that load. Do not head to a pickup spot until you get the Raycon, because some brokers will be like, "Oh yeah, just start heading down," and you might deadhead like 50, 70 miles, and then the broker doesn't even get back to you. So make sure you get that Raycon. So I told him, please confirm ASAP, please. My driver is about to take off. Put a little pressure on him, and I'm just gonna skip past because he asked for my driver info. No, so I'm not gonna share that. And then he finally got back to me with the rate confirmation. So it'll typically have like the name of the broker that you're working with, their contact, the pickup date, load number, and so forth. It also has my information as well as the pickup address, the drop off point, as well as the line haul. The line haul is just pretty much how much you're going to get paid for the trip. So once you got this, you're golden. You'll want to head over to the pickup location and show them this rate confirmation. This is pretty much like your proof showing that you're there to pick up the load, and they'll load your truck up once you get to that pickup location. So another thing too. So this carrier, he didn't have me do a setup packet, but most carriers will. I believe I've actually worked with this guy before, worked with this carrier before, so I didn't have to do it for this specific one. So, but most likely when you do, I mean, before you get the rate con, they're gonna ask you to complete a carrier setup packet. So, I have an example of one I did earlier, so you guys can see what it looks like. It's pretty much just an agreement between yourself and the broker that they want you to confirm, so you can do business with them. It tells me the broker's contact, what they need for us to do work. So I need to complete the carrier agreement packet, which is this packet here. I need to provide them a copy of my operating authority. So this is a piece of paper you receive once your authority goes active. Usually you get that in the mail. Your W-9. So if you don't have that, you can just download a free W-9 template and fill out your information on that and just send it over to them. Your carrier profile, direct deposit information, and of course your certificate of insurance. You'll want to once you have your insurance broker, you can actually forward the original email to your insurance broker and have them add the carrier as a certificate holder. So I had to add this carrier as a certificate holder, which is really easy. Your insurance people should take care of that for you. And then then you just fill out the information. I put my company name. I'm not. I'm sharing this because this isn't my actual address. It's just a fictitious business address I use. Um, and I put the address there. And you have to just. I erased some of it because I didn't want anybody to see all my information, like my email and my phone number. But yeah, and then you enter your tax ID and the amount of drivers you have, how many owner operators, what types of trucks you have. You put your initials, your service area, and it's pretty much just plug and play. You fill this out, and once you finish filling it out, you're going to email it back to the broker. After you email it back to the broker, um, you're pretty much just waiting for them, and the broker will say, "Okay, great, we received your carrier packet. Um, we're going to send you the rate con shortly." Usually, it takes them about 10 to 15 minutes to send you that rate con, and then once you get that rate confirmation, you're golden, and you can head over to the pickup point, and once you get to the office, you want to talk to a receptionist or whoever's in the main office. Show them the rate confirmation, and what they're going to do is they're going to tell you where to park your truck, which dock to go to, and either you'll load up or sometimes the people will load you up. Um, I'm not too picky myself. I'll load if I have to load, and it's nice when they load. I mean, I had the guys that they loaded me up 10 pallets. They did it. They did it really fast. So hey, I don't mind it. I like when people load me up. So and that's pretty much how you book the load. Another thing to be conscientious of too, though, is after you have picked up the delivery, the next piece of paper or paperwork that you want is called a bill of lading. So you do not leave the pickup point until you have your bill of lading or multiple bill of ladings if you have multiple drop off points for the trip. So a bill of lading, it pretty much shows uh, the start destination as well as the drop off, and it's also going to tell you what the commodity is, like if it's household goods or whatever you're transporting, and it's also going to say how many pallets and the weight on it. And the reason this paperwork is so important is because it's going to be the way that you get paid from the broker. So you're gonna make sure you get that bill of lading when you leave the shipper, and when you get to the customer or the receiver, the place that you're dropping off the freight to, you have to receive a signature on the bill of lading. Sometimes the receiver may ask for a copy, but you have to make sure you keep your own copy, because you have to typically email a picture of the bill of lading back to the broker so you can get paid for your load. So don't forget this. Myself and my driver, we've made this mistake like one time each, and it's a real hassle if you didn't get that bill of lading. So make sure you get that from your shipper. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you book a load using DAT load board for a 26-foot box truck. I may put a video up on how to book loads with Amazon. It's a lot easier with Amazon, but the actual pickup process itself is a little bit more complicated. So please, if you have any questions, please comment down below, and I'll try to answer in a timely manner. And also too, comment below what content you guys would like me to post. I'm still learning myself this business. I've been in it for a month, so if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to see a certain type of video, let me know, and I'll do my best to make that content. Thank you, guys.